Hello and welcome to this week's Horse Racing Ireland's 5 to Follow. We've 2 meetings ahead of us this weekend. We have flat racing at the Curragh on Saturday, and then we have national hunt racing at Cork on Sunday. So Martin, unfortunately we didn't have any winners last weekend, but we have, in fairness, we've had most of the horses that have been placed have been quite good prices.
Well, yes, in fairness, Sarah, we were a bit unlucky with one of them. That Salam Aleikum just got beaten in nose for 3rd place. So when you know that happens, you know your luck is out.
Yeah.
And he was a decent price. But hopefully this weekend, with some very good racing at Cork and at the Curragh, we should probably do a bit better, hopefully.
Yeah. So you're going to make the first selection at the Curragh, like you said, some really competitive racing. The Flying 5 being one of them as well.
Well, yeah, there's 3 group races and a listed race, plus of course the Tarsals auction race, which is worth an awful lot of money. So a top class card,
Yeah.
A races, and the first race is off at 2 p.m. And as you say, the first race I'm looking at is the 3rd race, the 310, the Flying 5 Stakes, Group 3 over 5 furlongs. Now traditionally the English horses do very well in this race, and again they have a very strong challenge with 6 runners in the field, and of course we have 13 runners overall. Now to me, I'm going to look at one of them, horse trained by Kevin Ryan in England, ridden by Pat Smullen, horse called Hamza, who ran a blinder here 2 weeks ago when the 3rd or 2nd in the Phoenix Sprint Stakes behind Slade Power, who of course was running then today in a Group 1 race at York. Also in 3rd place on that occasion was C. Cerdan, a very good sprinter for Maiden O'Brien. So I think that form is very solid, very good draw on stall 12, just 2 off the rail, and with Pat Smullen on board, he certainly won't lack assistance from the saddle. A couple of good Irish horses in it. Russian Soul beat a timeless call in the listed race at Tipperary last time. Both of them haven't been all that fortunate with the draw. They're drawn 3 and 2 respectively, so I don't think they're going to be good enough to beat Hamza. So for me, I'm going to go with Hamza to win and get the English off to a good start. Now then, of course, we have the big race then, the 345, and there's 8 English raiders this, you were telling me, and you're going to go for an Irish one here.
I am, yes. It's the, like you said, the 345, the Tattled Island Super Auction Sales Stakes. This is worth huge money, 61,250 to the winner. There's a few dangers in it. There's obviously the 8 British Raiders, which is going to make it hard. It's a very competitive race, but I'm going to go with Kevin Prendergast, Pixie Hollow in it. Chris Hayes takes the ride on her. Now she's only had the 2 runs. She finished 3rd at Fairy House back in July behind Boom at the Groom. Chris Hayes did say that day that he thought he really should have won on her, do you know?
Yeah.
But since then she went on then and won last time out, beating the Arthur Moore's Hannah's Magic. She's a good draw at 13, and Kevin actually has past form in the race as well.
Well, he has, and this used to be just an English benefit for years and years. I remember Richard Hannah won 5 runnings in a row in the mid-90s, but in recent years the Irish have done quite well with it. And I think Pixie Hollow is probably the pick of the home trained ones. It's wide open, and I think she's a good selection. Shouldn't be too short a price range. That should be a decent price. Yeah. So hopefully with more improvement she could be the one there. And I'm going to stick at the Curragh then for the 3rd selection. There is some very good racing of course here. The Galileo EBF Futurity Stakes is on at 4:20.
Yeah.
And I think War Command will win this time, but because I think it's going to be a sharp price, we won't be tipping him. Also later on the card then in the again Irish St. Leger Trial Stakes, Ernest Hemingway looks a good winner there for Aidan O'Brien. I think he probably should beat Royal Diamond, for Johnny Murtagh. There wasn't much between them last time. Again, Ernest Hemingway will be favoured, so I'm not going to put him forward as a selection. So just looking at the last race then, the Lockwood Apprentice Handicap at 5.55 over a mile and a quarter, 8 runners here, and I'm going to go for Shalaman, trained by Dennis Hogan, and the amount of Anna O'Brien. This one was unlucky last time, the same combination in a similar type race at Leopardstown, finished quite well on that occasion, finished 2nd to Polish Rock. Now the 2 of them meet again tomorrow. I think there's £3 difference in the weights. I think that should be enough for Shalaman to reverse the placings. And with Anna O'Brien, she's quite capable apprentice, obviously Aidan O'Brien's daughter, and doing quite well. Has plenty of experience this year. I think just good enough this time to win. Before that, Shalaman won at Killarney in controversial circumstances. Got the race in the Shores Inquiry where many people felt he shouldn't have got it. But he's a horse on the upgrade. I think he might be good enough to win this one. Polish Rock again, I think would be his danger, and maybe Jazz Girl off top weight should like the fast ground and could go well as well. So that's our 3 selections at the Curragh. We're going to go on to Cork on Sunday, and you have one there, Sarah, in the 325.
Yes, the Martinstown Opportunity Handicap Hurdle. You know, I'm going to go with John the Soldier in this race, but it is quite an open race. There's a couple of other horses in it, likes of Bridgewater Girl and the Gordon Elliott trained Goal. You can never really, you know, ignore Gordon Elliott's horses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Raymond Hurley's John the Soldier. Joe Holly takes the ride on him. He's won 2 of his last 4 runnings. He was unlucky. He unseated Ian McCarthy in Bellewstown back in July, but then did go on to win in Tipperary and then was 3rd last time out in Roscommon.
Yeah.
He's very consistent over hurdles, so I'm going to stick with him. Probably again, he's going to be a fairly decent price, so would be more of an each way bet maybe.
Yeah, I think, and it's a strange card on Sunday at Cork. We do have a lot of sharp price favourites lately, I think, and if people want to take, you know, sharp price about horses, there's a couple there with really good chances at Cork. There's a horse there called Our Beautiful Dream in the 4:35, Domination in the 4 o'clock, and in the last race, Marty's Magic in the 5:35.
But like you say, you know, they're going to be very short prices, you know.
So those 3 would probably should win on form, but I think you want to be putting them in trebles.
Yeah.
So for that reason, then our last selection is the other race, the 5:05.
Yeah.
It's the Munster Handicap Hurdle, a 2.5 mile handicap hurdle, and I'm going to go for here what looks a very much improved horse called Lancing, trained by Tony Martin and the Mount of Ruby Walsh. Now he could start favourite, but I think he should be around 5-2, 3-1. It is an open contest with 18 runners in the race, so hopefully it won't be too short a price. He won very well over this course and distance a couple of weeks ago. He's up £10 for that, and this is a slightly stronger contest. Knock Arrigan ran well for Shark Cannon last time. His second Roscommon over 3 miles, and also Samantha Jones from Michael Winters, the local trainer, obviously very shrewd man, has a bit of form indeed. So certainly those 2 could put it up to this one, but I think Lancing Mum with a bit in hand. He looks the type of horse that typical Tony Martin can improve him an awful lot, likes the fast ground, and I think, you know, he's a fairly safe selection. So it was a good week for the Irish then, of course, at York's there, and York does continue tomorrow. We had, of course, Declaration of War beating Trading Leather in the Judmont International Stakes, and Venus de Milo ran quite well, went second just in the Yorkshire Oaks. But tomorrow, the Ebor Handicap, I think Tony Martin runs at Ted Veal, might have an each way chance, but it looks to be good racing tomorrow all round. And then, of course, next week, where are we heading next week?
Yes, next week on Saturday we have Killarney, but then on the Sunday we actually have the Moigler as well to look forward to on Sunday at the Curragh. So another probably great weekend's racing ahead of us next weekend.
Well, interesting to say the Moigler, because last year, of course, Sky Lantern beat Sintalola in that race, and of course both fillies done very well this year. Sky Lantern, of course, been the Guineas and trying to be top class. So let's look forward to that next. It should be a very good race, that Moigler, always has been, and it's the feature of a great card at the Curragh. I believe the Moigler stud actually are paying, it's a free admission for all families next week. Yeah. Which should be a great crowd, so hopefully that'll work well for us. Absolutely. So if you'd like any more information on the packages available, you can visit the racecourse websites, or you can go to goracing.ie. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Go Racing. Go online. GoRacing.ie. Horse Racing Ireland's official website.